Mr. Speaker, members of Congress, pursuant to the Constitution and laws of the United States, the Senate and House of Representatives are meeting in joint session to verify the certificates and count the votes of the electors of the several states for President and Vice President of the United States. After the ascertainment has been had that the certificates are authentic and correct in form, the tellers will count and make a list of the votes cast by the electors in the several states. The tellers on the part of the two houses will take their places at the clerk's desk.
Mr. President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Alabama seems to be regular in form and authentic. It appears, therefore, that Donald J. Trump of the state of New York received 9 votes for president, and Michael R. Pence of the state of Indiana received 9 votes for vice president.
But for what purpose does the gentleman from Massachusetts rise?
Mr. President, I object to the certificate from the state of Alabama on the grounds that the electoral votes were not, under all of the known circumstances, regularly given, and that the electors were not lawfully certified, especially given the confirmed and illegal activities engaged by the government of Russia designed to interfere with our election and the widespread violations of the Voting Rights Act that unlawfully suppressed thousands of votes in the state of Alabama.
Debate allowed. Section 15 and 17 of Title III of the United States Code require that any objection be presented in writing, signed by both members of the House of Representatives and both member of the House of Representatives and a senator. Is the objection in writing and signed not only by the member of the House of Representatives, but also by a senator?
Mr. President, the objection is in writing, signed by a member of the House of Representatives, but not yet by a member of the United States Senate.
In that case, the objection cannot be entertained.
For what purpose?
For what purpose does the member rise?
I have an objection because 10 of the 29 electoral votes cast by Florida were cast by electors not lawfully certified because they violated Florida's prohibition against dual office holding.
Debate is out of order. Section 15 and 17 of the Title III of the United States Codes require that any objection be presented in writing, signed by both members of the House of both a member of the House of Representatives and a senator. Is the objection in writing and signed not only by the member of the House of Representatives, but also by a senator?
It is in writing, Mr. President.
Is it signed by a senator?
Not as of yet, Mr. President.
In that case, the objection cannot be entertained.
Thank you.
Senator Gorbachev. What purpose does the gentlewoman rise?
Mr. President, I object to the certificate from the state of Georgia on the grounds that the electoral votes were not...
There's no debate. Section 15 and 17 of Title III of the United States Code require that any objection be presented in writing, signed by both a member of the House of Representatives and a senator. Is the objection in writing and not only signed by the member, but by a United States senator?
Mr. President, even as people waited hours in Georgia...
There is no debate. And if there's not signed by a senator, the objection cannot be entertained.
Mr. President, the objection is signed by a member of the House, but not yet by a member of the Senate.
Well, it is over. For what purpose does the gentleman from California rise?
Mr. President, I object because people are horrified by the overwhelming evidence of Russian interference in our
Title III
elections.
of the United States Code prohibits debate in the joint session. The gentlewoman, Section 15 and 17 of the the U.S. Code require any objection be presented in writing, signed by both members of the House and a member of the Senate. Is of the objection in writing not only by the member of the House, but also by a senator.
Mr. President, even with the malfunction of 87 voting machines that predominantly and grave concern.
The objection cannot be entertained. prepared to proceed with the count. Senator Blunt.
Mr. President,
For
the
what purpose
certificate...
does the gentlewoman from Texas rise?
Mr. President, I object.
Under Section
Mr. President, I object on
1517,
the massive voter suppression
debate
that
is not in
included...
order. Debate is not in order. The gentlewoman will suspend. Section 15 and 17 of Title III of the U.S. Code require that any objection be presented in writing and signed by both a member of the House of Representatives
I have an
and a
objection.
senator. Is it signed by a United States senator?
Yet we're seeking
Well,
a United
in
States
that case, the
senator.
objection cannot be entertained. We'll proceed with the count.
Mr. President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of North Carolina seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of New York received 15 votes for president, and Michael R. Pence of the state of Indiana received 15 votes for vice president.
What purpose does the gentleman from Arizona rise?
Thank you, Mr. President. I object to the certificate from the state of North Carolina based on violations of the Voting Rights Act and confirmed hacking by the
joint session. The chair has previously ruled a signature from a senator is required. Is there a signature from a senator?
There is a signature from the House of Representatives, myself,
The
and no
objection
signature
cannot
at this
be
point.
received without a signature from the senator. The clerk will continue to tally. What purpose, the gentleman?
Mr. President, I object to the 15 votes from the state of North Carolina because of the massive voter suppression and the closing of voting.
There is no debate. There is no debate. There is no debate. The gentleman will suspend. As the chair has previously ruled, a signature from a senator is required.
Signature for myself, not yet a signature from a
Objection
senator,
cannot
which
be
we are seeking.
received. The clerk will continue to count. What purpose does the gentlewoman from Texas rise?
Mr. President, I object to the votes for South Carolina because
As the
of the
chair has
Russian
previously
intrusion
ruled,
into the elect.
there is no debate in the joint session. Debate will suspend. The chair has previously ruled a senator is required to be signed on as well. Is there objection?
President, I have it in writing and now seeking a signature from a
The
United States
objection
senator.
cannot be received.
I thank you.
Mr. President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Washington seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Hillary Clinton of the state of New York received 8 votes for president, Colin Powell of the Commonwealth of Virginia received 3 votes for president, and Faith Spotted Eagle of the state of South Dakota received 1 vote for president, and Tim Kaine of the Commonwealth of Virginia received 8 votes for vice president. Elizabeth Warren of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts received 1 vote for vice president. Maria Cantwell of the state of Washington received 1 vote for vice president. Susan Collins of the state of Maine received 1 vote for vice president. And Winona LaDuke of the state of Minnesota received 1 vote for vice president.
Mr. Harper. Order in the House. For what purpose does the gentleman from California rise?
Mr. President, I object on behalf of the millions of Americans, including members of the intelligence community.
There is no debate. Debate is prohibited. The chair has previously ruled a signature from a senator is required. The objection cannot be sustained unless one is available.
Mr. President, despite grave concerns of the intelligence...
Objection cannot be received. Senator Klobuchar. Senator Klobuchar, will continue to tally. What purpose does the gentleman from Texas rise?
Mr. President, I object to the votes from the state of Wisconsin, which should not be legally certified or regulated.
Does the gentlelady, does she? Please come to order. The chair has previously ruled suspend. The gentlewoman will suspend. As the chair has previously ruled a signature from a senator is required. Is there such a signature?
Mr. President, I do have a written document with my signature on it seeking a senator, but the Russian...
The clerk will continue to call the roll. We'll continue to tally. For what purpose does the gentlewoman from California rise?
I do not wish to debate. I wish to ask, is there one United States Senator who will join me in this letter of
There is no
objection?
debate. There is no debate. The gentlewoman will suspend. The chair has previously ruled a signature from a senator is required. Objection cannot be received.
Mr. President, the undersigned, Roy Blunt and Amy Klobuchar, tellers on the part of the Senate, Greg Harper and Robert A. Brady, tellers on the part of the House of Representatives, report the following as the result of the ascertainment and counting of the electoral vote for President and Vice President of the United States for the term beginning on the 20th day of January, 2017.
The state of the vote for President of the United States as delivered to the President of the Senate is as follows. The whole number of electors appointed to vote for President of the United States is 538, of which a majority is 270. Donald Trump of New York has received, for President of the United States, 304 votes. Hillary Clinton, the state of New York, has received 227 votes. Colin Powell from the Commonwealth of Virginia has received 3 votes. John Casey, the state of Ohio, has received 1 vote. Ron Paul of the state of Texas has received 1 vote. Bernie Sanders of the state of Vermont has received 1 vote. Faith Spotted Eagle of the state of South Dakota has received 1 vote. The state of the vote for Vice President of the United States as delivered to the President of the Senate is as follows. The whole number of the electors appointed to vote for Vice President of the United States is 538, of which 270 is a majority. Michael R. Pence of the state of Indiana has received, for Vice President of the United States, 305 votes. Tim Kaine of the Commonwealth of Virginia has received 227. There will be order. President Arms will remove. From the gallery. In order. House. The Commonwealth of Virginia has received 227 votes. Elizabeth Warren of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts received 2. Maria Cantwell of the state of Washington has received 1. Susan Collins of the state of Maine has received 1. Carly Fiorina of the Commonwealth of Virginia has received 1. The Sergeant at Arms will remove the protesters from the gallery. The chamber will be in order. The change will be in order. Clerk. Winona LaDuke of the state of Minnesota has received 1 vote. This announcement of the state of the vote by the President of the Senate shall be deemed sufficient declaration of the persons elected President and Vice President of the United States, each for a term beginning on the 20th day of January 2017, and shall be entered together with the list of the votes on the Journal of the Senate and the House of Representatives. The purpose of this joint session having been concluded, pursuant to the Senate Concurrent Resolution 2 of the 115th Congress, the chair declares the joint session dissolved.